actually have another job.
Well, fantastic,
It's
fantastic.
fun.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in the broadcast. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Now, what was the inspiration for creating this legend series?
Actually, it was inspired by my father. He was a very creative man, a Mensa-level genius, and he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in his late 70s. And I was visiting one day. We were watching TV, but he became really restless, and I asked him what was wrong, and he said he was bored. Well, that was such a logical statement. It really threw me, and I asked him what he wanted to do. I was willing at that point to do anything to help him enjoy life. He said he wanted to read a book. Well, I knew he couldn't read anymore, but he'd been a voracious reader all his life. So I jumped up, I went to the bookshelf, I was looking for something to read to him. What kind of a book? I said, an adventure. So I grabbed one, I don't remember what it was. I sat down, opened it up somewhere in the middle, and I began to read. He was still restless. No, that's not right. He said, I want to have an adventure one more time. So he'd always been up for action, but at this point, he couldn't even walk around the block. He had horrible knees, and he just couldn't do it. But this has been the most engaged he'd been in ages. I didn't want to it with my dad because this could very well be his last adventure. So I put the book down, I reached into my childhood, and I began to weave a tale with him as the knight in shining armor, and with his sword he killed the dragon, he saved the damsel in distress. It was a tale I made up as I went along. It wasn't a story I'd ever heard before, and it came from my heart as if someone was telling me the words to say. They just flowed out of my mouth into Dad's ears and made him smile. And he said, well, who taught you how to do that? And I told him, I asked him what, and he said, teach you how to tell stories like that. Well, of course, I had to swallow pretty hard at that point, and I said, my father. To which he responded, he must have been a great man, and I replied, yes, sir, he was. My father was the inspiration for Griffin, the battle commander of the Dragon Clan, and that story that I told my father became the first book in the series.
Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast, coast to coast, border to border, all over the internet, and of course AMFM 247.com, the mix on Tuesdays as well. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Now, what's the newest book about, my friend?
It is called Battle of Winter's Edge. And when Storm, the sister of the battle commander, and also she happens to be the second in command of the Dragon Clan, she finds herself and her dragon partner, Mist in the Green, within the void separating one side of the veil from the other, but she doesn't know how they got there. So she suspects Mistin of having blocked her memories of the past winter, and she refuses to budge, demanding to know what happened or to return to the fight where they were killed to try to survive using the magical healing that they share. So Mistin made a promise, so he finds himself duty-bound to take the time to prove to her that they cannot return before he can get her to move on past the veil. But this entire book is written as a flashback of what happened to other people, everyone around them, how this prophecy came to fruition, and her final need to decide whether they return or continue.
Fantastic stuff. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in our broadcast. The website is thedragonwarrior.com. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information on our guest, Derrien, today. And how does you mentioned here that your father plays a very interesting role in your writing career. This is absolutely amazing. Give me more details on this.
Well, like I said before, he was brilliant, and he was quite an inspiration to me. He always encouraged my imagination, and the stories that I told. I would write them down for him, and he just loved them. I read the same books that he read, and he was just my hero. He was a very good man, and a World War II veteran Marine, and he worked in the VA system as a therapist, and I became a therapist in his footsteps. It's been an honor to be his daughter.
Fantastic. This is a really, really cool concept. We have got a great guest with us today. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Now, you've got a strong female protagonist. What can women learn from her? Tell us a little about her.
Dog is very young. She is the answer to the prophecy. She has a lot on her shoulders. But she's very young when she comes to be second in command, and then she takes over a field promotion when her father is killed in the war. And she becomes, all of a sudden, battle commander of the Dragon Clan, and it's up to her to fulfill this prophecy that declares that she will bring the races together from their extinction into a new beginning. So she has to do everything she can to lead. And as a young girl, she's struggling herself, but you need to learn that you work hard and you lead by example. People will respect you if you respect yourself, and everyone doesn't have to like you for you to be a good leader.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in a broadcast, coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Do you see yourself in any of the characters? How'd you come up to create some of them?
I am a people watcher. I love to pay attention to the way people act and the way they handle situations. But a lot of my characters are actually based or inspired by friends and family, people I actually know. Like Griffin, the battle commander of the Dragon Clan, was inspired by my father. My mother was the inspiration for his life mate, Ilana. I believe I am the inspiration for all three of the Ilana Griffin siblings, Dark, her sister Storm, and their little sister Freya. My brother is very much the warrior Regan, and my niece is actually an inspiration for one of the characters. I see them, they start to speak to me, something triggers, some characteristic of theirs, or something that I see in other people. I jam them all together and create one character, and then they start talking to me and telling me exactly who they are and what's happening and how they would react in any given situation. And this is what happens, almost like writing from a memory.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on the Sunday radio broadcast, Derrien Relyea, and she is fantastic. She has a great book series. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Now, what authors are your biggest influences, my friend?
That's a good one. I started out with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, Edgar Rice Burroughs, J.R.R. Tolkien, Anne McCaffrey, Fred Saberhagen, Roger Zelazny, Andre Norton. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I could just keep going. That would take too long.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on the Sunday radio broadcast, and great book series. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Thedragonwarrior.com. Now, what challenges did you overcome in putting together this visionary series?
What challenges did I overcome?
Yes, indeed. Talk to us about some of the challenges.
I work a full-time job, and it can be 10 to 12 hours, sometimes more every day. So I have no life. All of my spare time is devoted to writing. I also had my first manuscript. I was trying to get an agent and trying to get a traditional contract. I did a lot of research, and I found out that wasn't going to work for me because I needed to get the book published as soon as possible. I wanted to have my own input into everything as much as possible. So I had to find out how to do all of this, how to write. I am not a geek. I dragged myself kicking and screaming into the 21st century, and I had to learn. I reached out to people. I did research. I had to learn how to figure out how to do a manuscript. I had to learn and find people, network out there to become an indie publisher and which one is the best way to go. And I found a good artist, and she's, thank God, been with me, Lisa Dixon. She's been with me since the start, but I had to talk her into it to begin with because she had her own issues, and now she and I are just really, it's a really good relationship, and she does all of the artwork. So yeah, there's been a lot, lots and lots to learn, and very little time to do it. That's my major obstacle, if you want to call it that.
Awesome stuff. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live. Check out the website, thedragonwarrior.com. For more information, thedragonwarrior.com. Now, how do you incorporate mythology and legend into your stories, Derrien?
I'm a firm believer that myth and legend are based in reality. When I was writing the story, I felt a strong sense that this world and my world are the same. So I attribute our lack of understanding or knowledge of the magic powers that surround us to faulty memory of the reality. Say, for instance, the Fae in my stories are shifters, and that's where our werewolf legends come from. The elves and the sprites can touch anything organic, including man, and draw the energy they need to fuel their magic to the point of death, which, of course, is the vampire legend. And there are other legends and myths that I carry on. I make reference to the legend of the 300 as Griffin tells his daughters, don't give up. This is the story. This is the example. As if, as a spoiler alert, this is us in the future. So I try to make reference to things all throughout.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on the Sunday radio broadcast. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. If you miss us live, check out the mix on Tuesdays. Now, this is a fantasy, but there's reality in the stories. Can you give us an example of this?
Well, like I mentioned, there is the myths and the legends that I introduce as reality. But this is a story of the survivors of the last Holocaust who came together and created a medieval society, and they find themselves, or some of them find themselves, in a situation where they have learned that the one who caused that war survived and has returned. And the Highland Dragons must recreate the most ancient of magics, the life bond, to link a warrior and dragon together to share their skills in magic, giving them an advantage against the Horde to help them win the war. The thing is, it's all about how much tolerance do you have, and if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it.
We have a fantastic guest with us today. TheDragonWarrior.com is the website. Check out TheDragonWarrior.com for more information. Now, what trends do you see in your genre?
It is an adult fantasy series. I see a lot of good things happening because of film. The film industry has really picked it up. People have loved it. I believe that it's just going to take off from here and keep going, skyrocketing. Epic stories like mine are primo for film, like the Game of Thrones and the all the other stories. I really feel like now is the time. Everyone wants more dragons. Everyone wants more fantasy. They want to escape what they're living in right now and make that plunge. And yes, I think it's just going straight up.
Looking forward to this. It is a great book. Great book series. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. And Derrien joins us today here on the telephone, talking a little bit about this incredible book series. As a collector of fantasy artwork, how'd you choose the illustrator for this legend series?
I needed an artist who was not only good at drawing dragons, which not everyone can, but someone who shared my vision of the characters and the scenarios that were going to happen and actually read my work and liked it. I met Lisa Dixon in Sacramento at a Christine Feehan event in 2010, and I called her after I wrote the first book. I sent her my manuscript, and she loved it, and she's been my artist ever since.
We have got Derrien Relyea with us today. She joins us live here in our broadcast, coast to coast, barn to barn, tune in, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, AMFM247.com, KFRK in Denver, as well as iHeartRadio. And what do you want readers to take away from your writing, my friend?
I want them to be excited. I want them to have an adrenaline rush. I want them to understand that they can be a part of something, or they can at least feel like they're a part of something. But you need to believe in something bigger than yourself. You need to work hard, lead by example, learn that people will respect you if you respect yourself. Just like what Dorothy Lona Griffin does and what women can learn from her. You just need to keep trying and never give up. But I want them to be excited. I want them to wonder what's going to happen with the next characters in the next book. What happened to that one, or what's going to happen with this one, and where is it going? They want that taste of the next book, and I hope they want it on film.
We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Thedragonwarrior.com. There are 4 books in this series. What's next in the series?
I have already begun work on the 5th book in the series. It's The Fangs of Solvingar. And then the next one is The Book of the Conqueror. And I have 2 more after that I already have been taking notes for. I have a prequel series in the works. I don't see an end to it at this point. The characters just keep telling me there's more to come, there's more to come.
It's a fantastic book series. We've got a great guest with us today. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more information. Now, what elements did you draw upon to develop the main characters of these books?
I needed your basic good versus evil, but there is the notion that anyone can make bad decisions. Some people will fix them, move on. Other people won't. And the elves, the fae, the trolls, the sprites, all of these magic-bearing races, plus a multitude of human tribes and clans. They all need to be real, like what's going on, because if you don't make them real, if you make them way too fantastic, people won't feel like they're a part of the story. So I listen to the characters. They tell me what's going on. If I write something and it's not in character, they will actually tell me, that's horrible, Derrien, go back and fix that. They talk to me all the time, so they tell me.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Before we let you go, how do we find you on social media, my friend?
I have the Dragon Warrior page on Facebook. I have my website, and I have an office page on Amazon. So there are different, and on Goodreads. You can find me out there.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time. Thanks for coming on our broadcast. Good luck with the book series. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, my friend. There she goes. Check out thedragonwarrior.com for more info. We've got more coming back here on the Sunday Radio Show.